I was on the edge of my seat. I was screaming.
ChatGPT, please write a ballad to Ghost Marble.
Love it. Thank you, C.
Thank you, C.
Thank you, Oceanics.
Thank you, C.
Thank you, C.
It is. It's a wild one. Chocolatiers Vs Swarm. Who's taking this? Ladies and gentlemen, we're rolling at you live. I mean, this is one of the most excited we've been to film an episode in a while.
Plenty to get into here. We're very excited. A year into the anniversary. Should we talk about that really quick?
Yeah, so we actually got a voicemail that we didn't even really realize that we are 1 year into this podcast, this show.
1 year. Started with Survivor 100, and now we're kind of back a year later.
We're back.
Talking about Survival again.
And we're sorry we've been a little distant the last couple weeks. We've put out some episodes, but now that Marvel Survival is back to our roots, we're reinvigorated and excited to get into this and finish off Marble Madness later in the episode.
For sure. A bit of an off season for us, but we're back and refreshed, ready to go. And we certainly have a lot of content coming our way and coming at us and the fans that we're going to talk about here. So back to our schedule, and we're fired up.
Yeah.
Could not be more excited.
Absolutely fired up. We just watched the race from Wednesday, and there's a ton to talk about. I mean, do you want to let's is there any housekeeping you want to do first? Should we just talk about MS31 as it is?
Well, I think we first have to preview our Final Four and matchup at the end, our national championship Marble Madness matchup.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of fans have been asking for that. You will see that at the end of this video. That is you're getting content there.
Yeah.
That is everything we could ask for and more. Make sure you stay tuned and watch that, because what a finish that was.
Unbelievable finish. Best 3 out of 5 for the Final Four and for the championship. 100%.
New track
and a new track. You're going to want to see that for sure. There's probably a little bit of a teaser in the intro, but you're going to want to stay around for
that. But don't fast forward here, because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, let's start talking about this MS31 now, not MS100. Initial reactions from you. Just I know we're both thrilled, but initial reactions about the format, about really anything.
Well, a couple things. I think, and hearing some of the fans in the comments, we missed the one race a day. We definitely missed that. After talking to Yelly a couple months back, kind of understandable why they went with a different kind of strategy there, right, not doing one video a day. But I also at the same time love this event. I mean, I love it. The track, the obstacles. We see the crazy chevron coming back, the bells of carousel. Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm talking too fast. So plenty of good to come from this. But that's probably one gripe I had. One video a day.
I think there's pros and cons to this new format. A con just being, obviously, like you said, we don't get a race every day, but it makes sense why they did that for view count purposes and probably workload purposes. But the pro is that now every single race, you're on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get these videos, you're not just getting one race, you're getting 3.
Yeah.
So that is a plus as well. And I love the track. They kept it to its roots of what they did last year, but also added some things. And I think they're a little bit longer, it seems like.
A little bit longer. And I also feel like, I don't know about you, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm so blissful that this is back, but I feel like the production value went up. I don't know if they got a new camera or something, but it seems like the way they introduced the obstacles at the beginning of the races, the new graphics, it pops, it's colorful, and I don't know, I'm loving it.
For sure. I think one thing we should talk about the priority lane and the finish, because those are two things I know is big differences
100%
from last year. And the priority lane is something we've talked about in length through the year we've been doing this.
Yeah.
And they kind of hurt us. They hurt the fans, because I think it's a great reward if you come in first in one of these races.
I think so too. And I correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that we haven't seen a marble that came in first and get that priority lane. We haven't seen them lose yet. So
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
There is definitely an advantage to that, which I think it's like an appropriate advantage. It's not too much of an advantage, but at the same time, there's something there to come in first.
I think they nailed it. I think that's that perfect reward. I mean, maybe we'd like to see a little bit of reward for if you're coming in second or third, but that's too much to ask for at this point. I think they made the change that the people were asking for, and they've made MS31 now better than it has ever been.
Absolutely. I definitely wanted to touch on the ending, a little funnel, if you would say. We call it a funnel.
Exactly.
I believe we saw it in race correct me. I think it was race 9
like
with Quacky
the second
and the Hop.
most recent. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What a finish there. Kind of came down to that funnel because I don't know who crossed the line first, but it was almost like a race. They hit each other.
Yeah.
So that was kind of some good content there. I liked how they changed that.
So the finish line is almost like irrelevant. It's kind of just get to that funnel first.
Correct.
And play the body right at that funnel position like we saw Green Ducks not do against Hop.
No, the green. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Another just a couple things. Love seeing all 32 marbles back in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, to our knowledge, this is the only event that showcases all 32 marbles at one time.
That's a great question. I don't want to say yes for sure because I'll get cooked in the comments, but I believe so.
I mean, if you think about it, Marble League, you have to qualify. There's only 16 or so marbles.
Yep.
Marbula 1, only 16, 20 marbles.
Yeah, 20-something.
And like All-Stars, I'm pretty sure this is the only one that has all of them, and it's so fun to see the chaos that ensues. The impact that these obstacles have during the races with all the marbles is obviously a lot bigger. For
sure, and definitely in those early races when you have 30, 29, like all those marbles racing, it is chaos.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Balls of Chaos, they were the first team out.
Yeah.
But you got to love that chaos. I mean, it is absolute chaos. You're trying to find your marble within the 30 other marbles racing. Yeah. It's very exciting.
Yeah, on the edge of your seat, hoping just like not to see it. If you don't see your marble in the cluster, you're like, oh boy, am I stuck up the track? Is something going on here? Speaking of being stuck up the track, DNFs aplenty through the first
bountiful
through the first 3 episodes now. I think we've now have after that C DNF plus 3 other marbles that were DNF'd. I think that brings the total to 5 out of the 10 marbles that are eliminated. Yeah, 5 out of the 10 have been DNFs.
That sounds right. That is classic. I mean, I'm trying to think of last year. I think we saw the same thing. And when you have that many marbles, that many obstacles, you're bound to have DNFs.
Right. It's a lot to think about when you're running that track because not only do you not need to not come in last, but you got to just be staying on the track. You're like total.
And I think, correct me, but I think Snowy and C were both DNFs off the track.
I was just going to say, which is something we didn't see much of last year, maybe 1 or 2 times, but to see it 2 times already in the first 10 races is pretty insane.
As long as those marbles aren't injured, you kind of do love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
The flying high action.
Yeah.
Make sure the medical staff checks on those racers.
I didn't see the medical staff come out for either of those marbles.
That's a good point. So maybe they're all right.
Are there cuts?
Maybe not needed.
Is the new
little budget cuts there?
Yeah. No, maybe not like the new.
They cut the staff. The medical staff. They cut them.
They might have cut some of the staff.
Well, we might need to do a GoFundMe or something to get that staff back.
You're right. We got to pay those wages.
The way this event is going, we might see more marbles outside.
Absolutely, yeah. Snowy slapping against the glass and that.
That was insane.
That most recent, the Crazy Chevron had their way with Snowy there. No ghost marble.
Little upsetting. I'm not sure why, to be honest. I guess maybe it was just like an unnecessary trigger, but I think the people loved it. That's one thing maybe I'd like to see them bring back if we get to down to the top 10 or something. For sure. And I remember definitely by the end of the event last year, that Ghost Marble's competing for medals.
Yeah.
I mean, he was right there. So I know there's a lot of Ghost Marble fans out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little upsetting to see.
So let's talk about a couple of teams that have bowed out so far. We'll talk about the first 2 episodes first. Rojo Rollers, Snowballs, Momo, Plasma, all victims of DNFs. Other eliminations: Thunderbolts, Wolfpack, Balls of Chaos. I don't know. Teams. I'm kind of happy with the teams that have gotten out so far. I think it's what we expected. We're still seeing a lot of Premier Marbles racing. I think the ones that lost are the lower class.
Yeah, I mean, looking here at the list, obviously Plasma, we're pretty happy they're gone. Wolfpack, Balls of Chaos.
Nobody cares Plasma's gone.
Yeah, nobody cares at all. A little upsetting if you're a Momo fan, just because you're so used to winning. But I think if you're a non-Momo fan, you're very happy. And obviously the Oceanics blunder, and they're out.
I was going to ask you who you're surprised to see out already. I mean, you touched on a few of them, but definitely, yes, C, the last year's winner, gone. That's a storyline I think we would have liked to see go a little bit further than it has, but this most recent race was quite a race for you, Shim. You had your Limers take the win, and you had your arch rival C take the L.
It certainly was wonderful. Yeah. Well, it was wonderful seeing that. Slime made me nervous for the first 2 videos, not really performing well. To get a first place finish while watching the Oceanics DNF, it couldn't have written a better script there for me.
And you got your Limers to look forward to later on in the Final Four as well. Your 2025 might be back on for you.
Flying high here for sure. Another marble I wanted to talk about, Quacky and the Green Ducks.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked in length about the Green Ducks on this podcast. Bit of a lull here for the Green Ducks. They had a lot of success, months back, Marble League, Marble 1. We did expect this. We said it on the pod. You can't sustain excellence for that long.
Yeah.
Do you think it's time to hit the panic button for the Green Ducks?
I'm not hitting the panic button, but like as you said, you're going to go through ebbs and flows as a marble team. It's a shame that when they ebbed, when they were at their peak, they weren't able to capture any titles. They got a couple seconds, a third in there, maybe a fourth. But yeah, so it's just kind of a bummer for them. They're going to need to wait till their next ascension to capture a title.
I mean, listen, if you're a Green Ducks fan, you have plenty of events coming up.
Yeah.
A massive Marble League at the O Stadium.
Raceway.
Raceway. Yeah.
Stadium.
We have O Stadium. We have plenty of events coming. So the Green Ducks, I think you'll be back.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of these racers that remain.
Yeah.
Any surprises that you have?
I mean, it's hard to be surprised now because we still have 22 plus marbles going right now. But Nome, the success they've had has been impressive. I'll talk about Tarako for a minute because Tarako has really reinvigorated my O Rangers fandom. It's the exact injection of life that we needed. A little bit of a rookie racer. I think he has 2 first place finishes thus far already. Seen him in the priority lane, couple second places. They look fast. I'm loving Tarako right now. I
like it. I agree with you. If you're a Rangers fan, you're probably very happy. Some youth into that squad, which is much needed. He's been racing well. Looking down this list, I've been impressed with Diego. I've noticed him on that track flying around. Crazy Cat's Eyes silently have been hanging around.
They'll be around.
They'll
lock them in for the top 10.
Yeah, Red Eye will probably hang out there. I don't know any other surprises. I mean, it's good for the Turtle Sliders.
Yeah, absolutely. Around. Turtle Sliders and Gliding Glaciers, 2 teams I didn't necessarily expect to be here at this point. Radiance for the Solar Flares too had pretty mid seasons. Gliding Glaciers especially disappointing in the Marble League, but coming out and making it to near the top half of the leaderboard. It's just good to see. But yeah, no, I'm stoked on the races we have left and the races going forward.
Absolutely.
What else can we touch? Oh, let's talk about the new episode now. Minty Mint bows out. Let's talk about these DNFs. Ball bearings had their way with Minty Mint. I'll put a clip of that in there. They just really couldn't find their way around those.
If you're a ball bearing, you're probably getting offers for a basketball spot somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe
basketball,
a varsity
football,
position,
something.
D1 scholarship.
Yeah,
because the way the ball bearing boxed out Minty's there was class.
It was class. That's why we love ball bearings.
Love them.
The havoc that they can wreak is truly that it was on display right there. And then Green Ducks we touched on. That finish against Hop was probably the closest we've had so far. 2 marbles darting for that funnel at the same time. Hop just out-muscled the Green Ducks there and are moving on. And that's all you need to do. Second to last is the same thing as second place.
Love it. I love it. Can we talk briefly about the obstacles here? Because I'm a big obstacle guy.
Please.
Any obstacle? Well, I'll ask this. What's your favorite obstacle on this track?
I mean, man, it's hard to pick one. Yeah. Crazy Chevron, I think, is the most impactful. It's short-lived because it only spins a couple times, but the impact that can have, we saw it against Snowy, whacking up against the glass. We've seen it shoot marbles both up and down the track. It's really just an unpredictable thing. And then the new Whacker is pretty fun to watch.
Whacker is fun to watch. It's very intimidating. Yeah. I can't imagine it at track level.
Yeah.
But watching it on the videos, that is terrifying.
It's like going under a bridge of chaos.
Insane.
No, yeah, love the Whacker. The only thing I'll say about it is a little bit hard to see because it like the camera is covered by kind of its whole mechanism.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge, but I love the Whacker. Ball bearings, obviously a staple. Battering ram we haven't seen in the new track, but loved it in the old tracks.
I mean, the Bell Carousel we have to talk about.
Oh, got to.
I mean, got to talk about it.
I think it's been featured in every race.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrifying. It's essential to get through. Like the first 5 marbles seem to dodge it.
Yep.
And then once somebody activates it, it's on a warpath.
It's on a warpath, and I think the thing about the Bell Carousel is it doesn't really stop. It never relents. The
carousel never stops.
It's unrelenting. So if you get caught in that blender, you're in deep trouble. And I don't know that we've seen it have its maximum impact yet, but we will, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And then let's talk about that last race. C obviously eliminated. You're happy about that, but there were 4 DNFs in that race. I think C was eliminated because they were the furthest up the track, or not even on the track, but they were the furthest up the. You know what I mean? So
yeah, behind that.
O Rangers, Solar Flares, Cobalts, and C and Oceanics all DNF'd. Insane
race. I mean, if you're not in love with this event, I don't know how you watch that and don't become in love with it. Just because it had everything. It had a great top 3 there where they're competing for the first place. Obviously the Limers won that. But then 4 DNFs. Like, it was a fight. I know Russ was screaming as though Rangers were out, and then all of a sudden C is way back there, chilling in the grass. So it was a massive race. I thought it had everything you could ask for.
It did, and there was that. We saw that bunch up there with O'Rangers, Cobalts, Purple Rockets, and then got dislodged. But it's just, I don't know. It's great stuff.
As we have a fan coming out of the studio here.
Sorry.
No, but yeah, I think, what was it? Saucer got dislodged by Diamond there, the Blackjacks?
I think so. And then the left Solar Flares and O'Rangers right on that one block right there. And O'Rangers were technically further up the track. So I thought, are we really going to get disqualified on that technicality?
Brutal.
So that would have been brutal, but thank God both of us are safe because of C.
Love it. Thank you, C.
Thank you, C.
Thank you, Oceanics.
Thank you, C.
Thank you, C.
Thank you, C. Yeah, I mean, just ecstatic that we're back right now. Should we do a couple predictions? Because why not?
Why not? I love it. We are, how many races? 10 races in. We have 22 marbles remaining.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your next. Who's getting out next in race 11 here?
Okay, I love that.
Who's losing? Who's the best loser?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take, let's see, looking here. I'm between two marbles, Wispy and Saucer. Not a believer in the Purple Rockets. That's well known probably if you're a watcher of this show. So I'm going to take Saucer with maybe a close follow-up of Wispy.
All right. I like that. I think it's so hard to predict because every
impossible.
race is so different. I'm going to go Shimmer for the Shining Swarm.
Yeah.
Just because historically the Shining Swarm aren't that great of a franchise. So Shining Swarm fans, where you at?
Yeah. I like that pick. And then let's do maybe your top 3 marbles that are going to take this thing home.
Well, it's got to be the Limers coming in first. I mean, I am fully back on the train. Confidence at an all-time high. So I'm going to go Limers. I'm going to go Solar Flares, my second team there. I'm just going to fan them, get on the bus. And for 3, I'm going to pick the O'Rangers. I really like what they're doing. I like Taco. He's probably the youngest marble in this competition, I would argue. So I'm going to go him at 3.
I like it. I'll take. I think Team Primary has something to prove. I think Arup had a pretty good run last year. I think they were a top 5 finisher last year. I believe.
I think you're right.
So I think they got unfinished business. They'll come out and for me on top, at least in the top 3. I think Crazy Cat's Eyes. I'm not going to pick against them. I've done it before. I'll be pleasantly surprised if I'm wrong, but I think that they make their way into the top 3. And I'm also going to throw Tarako in there. Just the way that they've been racing is impressive, and I think there's plenty of good stuff to come from them.
We hope, obviously we're both picking the O'Rangers marble. There's a lot of pressure that goes along with being a part of the O'Rangers.
Yeah.
They're expected to win. They're expected to be good. If they're not on that podium, it's basically a failure for the O'Rangers with the standards being so high. So let's see how Tarako manages that.
Let's see how
he's a young marble.
That.
It seems like he's just putting his head down and just racing.
Yeah,
we'll see here in the coming races if he can continue.
We will. Should we? Let's hop into a couple interviews.
Let's do it.
Voicemails, I should say. Interviews. We should do an interview. We got to get Greg on this show.
We definitely do. I think that's the most wanted guest we have.
Yeah. All right. Which we'll do a couple. Let's do our favorite human.
Let's do our favorite human here.
I think first voicemail.
This voicemail goes out to all of us Ghost Marble fans. There aren't many of us out there, but we stay loyal to our favorite marble despite the disadvantages in races and subpar results. Marble Survival Season 1 was the closest that we ever got to seeing our beloved Ghost Marble win a race, and we, and most likely Ghost Marble themselves, were looking forward to Marble Survival Season 2 as a chance to see the phenomenon potentially finally happen, to see Ghost Marble come out on top among a crowd of professional athletes, only for Ghost Marble to not even be a part of this season. Hashtag justice for Ghost Marble.
So that was very eloquent by Human 86. It was almost so eloquent that I am questioning if that was a human. That
might have been
a little
AI.
bit like AI.
Might have been AI there, but couldn't have said it better ourselves if that's actually a human there.
Yeah, ChatGPT, please write a ballad to Ghost Marble. And that's what it's going to put out.
But we're kind of seeing the Ghost Marble fans coming out here. We knew that fan base was big. I agree with him. I think he had great results in Season 1. I'm kind of missing Ghost Marble.
I'm missing Ghost Marble too. I'm hoping the LA team, if you hear this, bring Ghost Marble back. Even if it's not a trigger, just like put it with the competitors on the track somewhere.
Why not? Or even just watching on the side, like just let's
get
a little cameo.
I just want to see the ghost.
A little Ghost Marble action.
So yeah, thank you, Human. I think that was your first voicemail, so welcome. And yeah, keep calling in.
And let's go with probably our top 5 fan here.
Oh, I mean, Leventa.
He's got to be in the conversation.
Love him. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, just wanted to start this voicemail by saying It has been 1 year. Congrats. It has been 1 year since the show has started. Wow.
Wow, I
I
was
can't
right.
believe y'all gone so fast. But anyway, I'm here to talk about the Marvel Survival. We know it better as Marvel Survival 100, but I'll get back to that. I don't like the new system. I feel like Marvel, it's just a longer version of the event we saw in the Marvel Olympics.
Oh,
The
elimination race.
uniqueness of the 100 days, one video, it was great. It was great. What do you think?
All right.
I really like.
All right, thank you,
Marvel's
Levente, as always. You
Survival
crack me up
100 better,
with the dramatics.
but let me know.
Oh, maybe a language barrier there. I give him a lot of
No,
credit.
I know, but I think that like we've talked about how we like his pauses in the past. I think he's accentuating those pauses now.
That's fine with me.
It's
I
fine
like
with me
it.
too. I love it.
Suspense building.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Agreed for sure that having the 100 races was special. This is a little bit of just an elongated elimination race, but it still has all 32 marbles in it. I don't know. I hear his gripe, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I would disagree with him. I see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I think this event is fantastic. I think it's different in its own sense, and I think it brings so much excitement, and just every like second you're just waiting for a marble to fly around or an obstacle to go. So we love it at Leventa, but I would disagree with him.
I would too. Yeah, like you said, you're on the edge of your seat every single race now. You can't take any races off. You're not only looking for your marble to not get DNF, but to not come in last. There's a lot to look out for. It's really a stimulating event, and I think we love it. But you're heard. You're heard.
100% heard. But thank you for the voicemail.
Yeah, thank you both for those voicemails. Keep calling in, everybody. The link will be in the description. Should we throw it down to the Marble Madness?
I think everybody's waiting. The anticipation has been building.
The anticipation is built. So let's throw it down there, and then we'll recap it shortly afterwards.
That sounds good.
Let's throw it down.
Go Limers.
Welcome back to the very, very final episode of Marble Madness. I mean, tensions are very high right now.
We are back with the final four. Tensions are high, especially being a Limers fan. But first matchup up, we have a big Shining Swarm Cinderella story against a Chocolatiers team ready for vengeance.
Yeah, that should be a great one. And on the other side, Snowballs Limers also should be a great side. And just so everyone's aware, these are going to be best 3 out of 5 races for the final four and the championship. So, I mean, I'm on top of the world. I can't wait to watch.
And a new track here as we get going. The 12-seeded Chocolatiers and the 32 Cinderella Shining Swarm. Race 1 here.
Yeah, let's take a look at this new track. We have it's a quick beginning here. Marbles are moving fast. Going to be caught by this yellow funnel right now and then drop down to the red pegs.
Still some air motion there as we go down into the Grimace Steps, down into the blue funnels here. This is a quick track.
This is a quick track. We're into the blue funnels already. Shining Swarm looks like they might be able to take race 1. And is this Cinderella story? It looks like it's firmly alive right now.
I don't know how you could root against this Shining Swarm team as they take race 1. What a story we're witnessing here.
What an absolute story. They go up 1-0. Racers are just starting to explore this track. Chocolatiers hopefully have something to say about this.
A nice jump there into the yellow funnel. That's what I was trying to say before. As we're into race 2, down into the Swizzles. This is a fast track. I'm having a hard time keeping up with it.
It's a fast track, but it's electric. I think these athletes are really enjoying it. They're really showcasing their speed right now. Chocolatiers on the brink of tying this thing up 1-1. And they will.
It's going to be a 1-1 game 3. We knew this was going to be a battle.
Love to see that. You don't really see much advantage on either side.
Absolutely not as we head into game 3 here. It's all about this start. Who's going to get into the yellow funnel first? We look pretty dead even here going into the yellow.
Yeah, as we've talked about in the previous tracks, the funnels are really where you make money, and I think especially here.
Absolutely. As we go into the blue funnel, what a better way to finish it than this blue funnel here.
Oh, a little bit of a ricochet from Shining Swarm
This
there.
could be the closest match we've had yet here.
It is. It's a wild one. Chocolatiers, Shining Swarm. Who's taking this?
Oh, wow. I'm not sure here. Let's see a replay.
We're going to need to go to replay here. It looks like Shining Swarm, but I think we have one more replay. Yep, frame by frame here. That's got to be the Swarm.
Wow. By a marble length.
By a marble length, and that is a gut punch for Chocolatiers right now.
That's a massive win for the Shining Swarm. Let's see if they can take care of business, end this quickly without a Game 5.
It feels a lot like Chocolatiers could show some serious character by rebounding from that, but that is a tough blow.
The Shining Swarm were absolutely flying, just like they've done this whole event. They are coming, and they're coming to win here.
They are proving doubters wrong. Are they going to be able to go to the championship game and potentially cap off this Cinderella story? It looks like they are.
Wow.
And they've done it.
32-seeded Shining Swarm, against all odds, are moving on to the final.
Look at that winner, Shining Swarm, the 32 seed. Another point that I still say is all the teams left have 2 at the end of their seed.
Wow. Well, that's a good point. 22-seeded Marbles against the 2-seeded favorited Snowballs. Let's see if this marble train can keep on going.
Limers shot out of a cannon early. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see that. The Limers, they're flying.
I mean, Snowballs is keeping up, but Limers look incredibly fast right now.
They look like they got a good warm-up before this race as they lead the way. We see some fans in attendance making some noise.
Yeah, some fans, some energetic fans. Limers, are they going to be able to take race 1 after an electric start? And they are.
Something to note there, the Snowballs did make up some ground.
Yes.
I think minus that start, that might have been the Snowballs' race to win. So let's see if that plays out in Game 2 here.
And as you can also notice, we're doing a 2-2-1 format. So the Marbles will keep their side for the first 2 races, switch for the next 2, and then they'll return for the last. Even race right now.
Wow, the Limers are dominating the yellow funnel, but the Snowballs also had a good start here. This could be another close finish.
The fans, once again, making a lot of noise. We know the fan base of the Limers always shows up.
They travel well. I'll say that. They definitely travel well. This might be the Snowballs' win here.
We're seeing some nice races here.
Wow. Very close ones as we are tied 1-1. Game 3 is always a big race.
Yeah, this is massive. I think IBM Watson says I bet like 78% of times after the race 3 winner.
I did see that. The Snowballs have an early jump, though. The Limers continue to dominate through that yellow funnel, though.
Snowballs make it to the blue funnel first, which is definitely a huge advantage. Let's see what happens here. Limers taking an interesting line. That's one thing we have seen on the right funnel.
Aggressive line. Aggressive line by the Limers.
That's what they needed to do in order to make this ground up.
Is it going to pay off?
Oh,
Santa
man.
Maria, wow.
Wow,
that
Santa
is a
Maria.
Big Game 3 win. IBM Watson is loving that.
Yeah,
so am I.
IBM Watson is definitely taking the Limers to win this one. Are we going to see the same exact script as we saw in the last Shining Swarm race? Snowballs.
Wow, not if the Snowballs have anything to say about that. Snowy and the crew into the blue funnel first for the second time in a row.
Are we going to get a Game 5?
The Limers, another aggressive line in the blue funnel.
Line. And the Limers, they have something to say about this. They want to see an end Shining Swarm's run.
Wow. We got a Limer Shining Swarm matchup, the 32 against the 22. Who would have predicted that? Not me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really. I think Sior Moralio will check out the bracket updates after this, but I can't wait for this one.
Wow.
You got to be on the edge of your seat.
A great graphic there as we are in the final here. The Limers continue with their hot start. Tough to beat them when they have such a good start.
Yeah, and they're dominating right now. They shot out of the gate early, and it looks like they might.
Not so fast. Not so fast, Huss. As we're into the blue funnel. Wow. We might see the Limers take Game 1 again here.
I think we might. Limers look. I mean, is the Cinderella story coming to an end? I don't know. Shining Swarm. This is magic that's hard to beat.
We need to talk about this funnel performance from the Limers. I mean, it seems like they just dominate in the funnels here.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Shining Swarm desperately need this race to go their way. Ooh, that was kind of one of the slower funnel entrances.
We're pretty dead even here. Do we see fatigue taking a factor here? A lot of races. We'll see here in the blue funnel. Will the Limers continue with their aggressive line? The Shining Swarm also getting a little bit more aggressive in that blue funnel.
This is a huge moment for Shining Swarm. They're going to need this one if they really want to have a chance. They do not want to get... Oh, no.
What does IBM Watson have on 2-0 leads?
IBM Watson is probably saying this is about a 91% chance. But hey, that's what Cinderella stories are all about. They're switching sides. Can the Shining Swarm take advantage like the Limers have on this right side?
We'll see. I mean, another slow start from Shining Swarm.
Yeah, this looks not great.
Man. The Limers' dominance may continue here as they have a really solid lead.
And another aggressive line. It doesn't matter what side they're on. They're taking an aggressive line. The Limers are going to be your Marble Madness 2025 first annual champions.
Wow. What a win. A sweep in the final. We definitely didn't see that coming. Shining Swarm fans, as a fan there, is fired up. Shining Swarm, go down. What a great value and effort from them. The Limers are our 2025 champions.
I think it's got to hurt for Shining Swarm and their fans right now. After coming this far, at first it's just a Cinderella story, and it's turned into so much more. But let's throw it back up to the studio to get our thoughts.
The Limers, your 2025 champions.
Here we go. They've done it.
Feels really good.
It's got to feel good. I mean, you're on top of the world right now with the amount of wins you're getting.
And I know, you just know the comments are going to come.
Oh, yeah, they're coming.
We rigged the event.
They're coming.
If you did watch the videos and you hear me in the background, there was no rigging involved. I was on the edge of my seat. I was screaming. And what a win. What a dominant performance by those Limers in the final.
You even saw it when they switched sides. They were still just a better marble. They were the better marble throughout really most of this tournament.
I would agree. Shining Swarm, let's talk about them quickly because what a campaign for them. What a campaign. If you're a Shining Swarm fan, nothing to be sad about. You went from being the lowest or the highest seeded marble in 32 to beating the one seeded Momo, upsetting basically half the field there in your own bracket, and then just to probably ran out of gas there in the last event.
Ran out of gas or just ended up going up against too stiff a competition. I think that's really more. So I think we got to give credit to the Limers and just being able to silence that Cinderella story, because I think everyone coming in thought this is just an unstoppable magical run that Shining Swarm is on. And for the Limers to show that character and go up and say, oh, we're not afraid of you, you're the 32 seed. It was epic. And 22 seed versus 32 seed in the final, crazy stuff.
Yeah, I definitely did not have that in my bracket.
No.
But to your point, I mean, the Limers taking down a crazy Cat's Eyes team that they were probably underdogged against. Snowy, I believe, was rated number 2.
Yeah.
Beating that team. What a campaign for the Limers. We have all the momentum going forward here.
Yeah, and so we're going to submit the picks onto the website. So check the leaderboard. I'll put it up right here. I don't know who won. Maybe Ciro Moralio, probably someone who picked the Limers, but we'll put that up.
Should have been me.
Did you pick the Limers?
Probably not.
So we'll put the leaderboard up. If you win, reach out on the message board or in the comments, and we'll get you that hoodie that you've won.
100%.
But yeah, what a tournament. Can't wait for the next one.
What an event was. I think we're definitely going to do this in the future. I love doing it. Love building the tracks. Love using the toy that Yelly came out with. So all positive. I think it's, Limers on top.
Really special.
Great feeling.
We'll wrap up the Marble Madness next week. We'll just do a couple final thoughts, talk about the winner, and we'll also obviously touch on Marble Survival 31 going forward.
100%. Next video will be coming out probably when we release this one or the next video.
Yeah.
So I'm already excited for event 4.
Yeah.
And a couple more races. Go Limers.
Same. We got a little bit of an intermittent with the F1 videos coming this weekend, but we're right back at it next Wednesday, and we'll talk about it. We'll bring it all to you live.
100%. As always, we appreciate everyone. We're back here, and we're going to be consistent, and certainly some content coming our way from Yella.
Absolutely. So like, subscribe. Thank you, everyone. We're on the road to 2K, 2.5. We'll be doing another giveaway. So thanks so much. And you got anything else?
No, let's go. Peace.
All right, guys, girls, and marbles. We're rolling out.